are you guys doing? Fine. And you're going to be a class of 2025?
Yes, sir.
कैसी चल रही है कोचिंग? जबरदस्त.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Why don't we get going with the first question?
Hi sir, myself B. Sandeep Nani from JNV Nalgonda, Telangana State. Sir, in everybody's life, the role of their parents is important in guiding them and motivating them. Sir, my question is, what is the role of your parents in your success?
I was really blessed with two wonderful parents. They have both passed away. My father passed away 26 years ago, and my mother passed away just under 4 years ago. They're both no longer in this world. They were very good parents. They cared a lot about us. They tried to make sure. I have one brother and one sister. They tried to make sure we got a good education. They had a lot of ups and downs in life. Sometimes they had money, sometimes they didn't have money. But through all of that, they tried to make sure that they did all the best that they could do for us, which was great. And my father passed away before there was a Dakshana. So he never saw Dakshana. My mother actually came with me several times to trips like this with the Dakshana scholars or going to the scholar homes and so on. So she got a good view of Dakshana and she enjoyed it. So yeah, I mean, I think parents play an important role, and I think that there's a lot of things that I got in terms of principles and things from my parents which were truly wonderful.
Hi Mohnish, I am Shivasai from JNV Rangareddy. We would like to know about your hobbies.
JNV Rangareddy is the home of T. Ashok Kumar. Have you heard of T. Ashok Kumar? So Ashok is from JNV Rangareddy. He joined us in 2008 in 10th standard, 11th standard, and he got rank 63 in the IIT JEE general category. And since then, in 2010, when he got rank 63, nobody has got better rank than that. Every year, Ashok asked me, sir, are the students any good? I said, no, Ashok. Number one, they are not reading your name on the board. Number two, they don't know your story. And number three, they are not willing to work hard so they can at least get rank 62. Every year when I meet the students, I ask them, will one of you get rank 62 or better in all India rank? So I can tell Ashok, somebody better has emerged after all these years of the JNV. So anyone is going to get rank 62 or better, please raise your hand. All right, सारे 62 rank तो यहीं से जा रहे हैं. बाकी centers का क्या होएगा? और FITZI वालों का क्या होएगा? और एलन वालों का क्या होएगा अगर सब रैंक हम ले लेंगे तो? Don't disappoint me in 2025. But before I answer your question about the hobbies, I want to tell you a couple of stories about Ashok. Okay, so Ashok, do you guys have to do PT in the morning? No PT, right? You got exemption from PT because you are black shirt people. Black shirt people get exemption from PT. Did you know that? If your shirt is white, there's no exemption. So when Ashok he went to the training in Bangalore, they did not care about the black shirt. They told him, you have to go for PT. So one advantage you have versus Ashok is you have more time than him because he had to go for PT. But Ashok was not concerned about PT. What he did was, before he went for PT, he had already thought about some problem that he cannot solve. Some physics problem or math problem that he cannot solve. And throughout the time he was doing PT, he's thinking in his head how to solve that problem. So physically he's doing whatever they are asking him to do. Mental full engine is running for that entire period of time. Then lunchtime, there is time wasted in the line, right? You have to line up. He already has a problem that he is processing in his head when he's in the line for breakfast, lunch or dinner. Okay. Then the third disadvantage he had against you guys is 2 months before the JEE exam, the coaching ended. So the school shut down in March. The exam is in May. And they said, go back to your parent JNV and take the exam from there. So for 2 months, last 2 months, which is the most critical time, there is no coaching, right? You guys, I think, will get coaching till the last day. All these years, we have had 1,000 or 500 kids a year who have got coaching till last day, who have no PT. Not one of them has beaten Ashok's rank, even after having those advantages. So when Ashok went back to Rangareddy with no coaching for 2 months, we had given him all the JEE papers for the last 30 years. He took the JEE 60 times in the exact environment that the JE is taken, where he would sit down with the paper in the exact time allocated and try to solve it. And then he did all the papers twice, okay? All 30 years of papers means he took the JE 60 times. And when he could not solve a problem, he worked really hard to find out how to solve that problem. And then when he actually had to take the JE exam, it was a cakewalk for him. So then he went to IIT Bombay Computer Science. Then when he was graduating, I said, email your resume to Google. He sent an email to Google. They interviewed him by Skype on the computer. And he moved to California with Google. And now he is in Switzerland. There's a team of about 15 engineers under him from Google. Do you know what Ashok's salary is? How much he gets paid every year? Let's take a guess. Who wants to take the first guess? Raise your hand. Kuch tukka laga do, bol do. $50 million. Boss, 50 million. He's not the founder of Google. All right, so let's put down 50 million. This is equal to more than 400 crores per year, okay? So his salary is less than this. Next guess. 10 crores. So 10 crores, sorry, let me get the marker here. So 10 crores, this will be approximately equal to, let's say, about 1.2 million. It could be around that. It might be a little bit less than that. Third guess. 8 crore, I think it might be close to that, yeah. So what do you think was the income of Ashok's parents? What was their income? Andaza lagao. So rupees 5 lakhs, this is approximately equal to rupees 40,000 per month, right? It is much less than this. Much less. Next guess. Raise your hand. Yes. 1 lakh per year or per month? 1 lakh per year is, hang on. 1 lakh per year is, this is equal to about 8,000. It is less than this. फिर से guess लगा. Pardon? Per year. So 2,500 महीने का. Okay. That is approximately correct. So many times when Ashok's father is a tailor, and he's a tailor who works for himself. So sometimes he has work, sometimes he doesn't have work, right? So it's not like he has a job. It's like if there's some tailoring work, he'll make some money. So sometimes when in the night, they have nothing to eat. So when he's on vacation, they may sometimes have only boiled rice to eat for dinner. And sometimes there's not even boiled rice. There was only pickle to eat for dinner. So that was how Ashok grew up. And then abhi to hero ban gaye. So first month salary came, he moved his parents out of the slum they were living in. After 2-3 months salary, he bought them a home. Then he bought them a little better home. And life is going well. But Ashok will do really well. I think he is about, he graduated for 2014, so it's 9 years. So he's about 31 years old. I think that by the time he's in his 40s, he's already pretty senior in Google. He'll keep rising. So now we took a detour, and actual question ye tha कि हमारे hobbies क्या हैं? कहाँ से कहाँ पहुँच गए? So my hobbies are very simple. I like to play bridge. Have you heard of the game called bridge? Raise your hand if you've heard of the game called bridge. Okay. Maybe Ankit can explain to the rest of you what is bridge. Have you played bridge?
I actually don't really know the rules, but I've heard of the game. It's played of card.
So bridge is a game that will take you about 15 minutes to learn, and you cannot master it in a whole lifetime. So if you start playing the game now, which you should not do, start playing after you join IIT. After you join IIT with rank 62 or better, then you can play bridge, and it's a wonderful game. So I spend maybe about 4 or 5 hours a week playing bridge. We can now play online. There are bridge tournaments that take place all over the world all the time. I now go for 2 or 3 bridge tournaments a year for about 5-6 days. So, twice a year I come to Kerala for the massages when do not disturb on my door. And 3 times a year I go for bridge tournaments for about 1 week, where from morning till evening I'm just playing bridge. It's very good because Annu sab sambhal raha hai. तो मेरे को कुछ करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. So bridge is very good. That's one hobby. The second hobby I have is I play golf. I play a little bit of tennis. And there's a new sport now in the US which is getting a lot of popularity called pickleball. It has not yet come to India. I don't think it's very popular in India, but it will come. Eventually it'll become very popular. Pickleball is kind of a mix between badminton, table tennis, and tennis. If you combine those three sports into one, you get pickleball. So basically, I would say that I spend at least 2 to 3 hours a day, at least about 2 hours a day, goofing off. Means just playing some games, bridge or golf or tennis or pickleball, about 10, 15 hours a week. So those are my hobbies. Next question.
I'm Naurya Manish Singh from Manipur. Mohnish, why are there no Dakshana centers in Shillong region?
Okay, have a seat. So there used to be a Dakshana center in Moregaon in Assam when you guys were little babies. When you were 1 year old, there was a center in Assam. बहुत पहले की बात है. आपने शायद देखा नहीं होगा because you were only 1 year old. What we found is that we found 2 or 3 problems with having a center in the Northeast. The first was that it was very difficult to get faculty. So one of the issues with JE coaching is that we need the centers to be in somewhat urban areas, like in Guwahati or one of the state capitals or Shillong or one of those areas. And that is dependent on Navodaya Samiti. So Dakshana will be very happy to have a center in the Northeast, but it is not in our control. We need the Samiti to give us a center which has, so the problem that all the Navodayas have is, if you look at this particular classroom, this was built by Dakshana. I don't think they're living in the dorms which we had refurbished, right? They have moved to different dorms now. But originally when we started working in Kottayam, we had taken some buildings that were not being used and we refurbished those buildings so they could be used as dorms. I'm not sure where your dorm is now. They may have built dorm. But basically, this school did not have the capacity to have 100 JE scholars here. Dakshana created that capacity, right? So we put in the money, we did the construction, and we created all this. So one of the problems that comes up for the Samiti is that they would need to find a school in one of the urban areas, like let's say in Guwahati or Shillong or one of those places. And that school would need to have capacity. But what also happens in Navodaya is, even if the center is in Guwahati, it is usually not in the city. It is usually far away from the city. And that makes it really hard to get the faculty to come and go. Kottayam is not very far from Kottayam city. So the brilliant faculty is coming here, right? And it's not very far for them to come and go. So it works okay for them. So it would be actually really good for Dakshana to have a center in the Northeast. I would like that. In fact, in July of next year, I am going to Tripura. And reason I'm going, so first I'm coming to Kerala for 1 week massage. After I finish 1 week massage, then I'm going to Tripura, where I'm visiting 6 scholar homes in Tripura. Okay, just to see how they live and how the parents are and all of that. And when I looked at these homes that I'm going to visit, even in the Tripura district, they're very far from the city. Even when I looked at the Navodaya in Agartala, in Tripura, it's far from the city. Because I was thinking maybe I go there, I can tell them, listen, we can put a center here. So that becomes the issue. We need to have a center in the Northeast. And it would be really good to have one, so you guys don't have to come all the way here. You have come from one end of India to the other end of India. But it's really good to see this part of India. This is almost like a foreign country, right? Do you like Kerala? Kerala is a fantastic place. The red rice. Do you like the red rice? Or do you like white rice? Who likes red rice? Only few humans like red rice. Who likes white rice? White rice ke to bahut fans. What about cakes? Who likes cakes? We have some cake fans. So Kerala is a great place. Very high literacy rate. Very high standard of living. Good people. Diverse set of people. You know, we have Hindus, we have Muslims, we have Christians living well together, which is great. So I think it's good that you guys are getting experience. It's like a mini migration. Next question.
My name is Rakshit and I'm from JNV Bangalore, Urban, Karnataka. Sir, my question is that where are the funds raised from for this massive program and why it is primarily invested in Navodaya scholars?
Originally, when Dakshana started in 2007, my family, me, were the only people who were funding Dakshana. Now we have a lot of outside donors. We have some donors in India. We have some in Canada. We have many of them in the US. And of course, also my family is giving funds. So the money comes from many sources. Dakshana we are spending about, let's say about 25 crores a year to run the program. So I'll just give you some numbers so you have an idea what is going on. So each of you, when you join the program and you're with us for 2 years, basically for each of you, the cost is about 2.5 lakhs. Each person we take for 2 years, approximately, you can say 10,000 a month for 2 years. And what happens is we have the 2-year program here, where the only thing Dakshana is providing is the faculty and then the materials and all that. We also have a 1-year program in Dakshana Valley, where we also provide room and board and all of that. So 1-year program has less spending for coaching because it's 1 year time, but it has room and board spending so they both actually end up being approximately the same. They are about 2.5 lakhs. We are taking 1,000 kids a year. So every year we take 1,000 kids. So it is about 25 crores to run the program. And we are trying to increase this number to 1,600 per year. So I'm hoping that maybe in 2026 onwards, we can take 1,600. So we are in the process of spending about maybe around 100 crores to build classrooms and dorms and dining and kitchens and all that in Dakshana Valley in Pune in the next 3 years. So we'll spend the 100 crores. After that 100 crores is spent, we can take 1,600 kids. So this will end up being about 40 crores per year then. And so Dakshana's problem right now, currently, is not money. We have enough money. No problem. Do you know why we have enough money? Because I go for massage and I play golf and I play bridge. All of that, somehow money is being generated. So basically, that's kind of the math that's going on. But one of the problems Dakshana will have is that at some point, we will run out of IIT seats. So there are, I think there are 13,000 or 16, I think there's 16,000 IIT seats, right? 16,000, right? So 16,000 IIT seats are there, right? I don't think Dakshana can really take more than 10 to 15% of these seats at the most. If even 10% is not easy to do, to take 1,600 seats. So if we have to take 1,600 seats and we have a 2/3 acceptance rate, say 65% acceptance rate, it means we have to take 2,500 scholars per year, right? We have to take 2,500 scholars. And 2,500 scholars will mean about it'll be about 60 to 65 crores per year. So then we have some medical programs and things that we're also running. So bottom line is that Dakshana will not be able to spend more than 100 crores a year. When we are spending 100 crores a year, we'll have maxed out. So at that point, we are taking as many seats as we can for IIT, NIT, AIMS, government colleges. Jitna nichod sakte hain, humne nichod liya, right? Because there are a lot of rich people spending a lot of money on coaching, very upset at Dakshana taking all the seats. So we can only take so many seats. So when we hit this 100 crores of spending, that is when we have a problem. And let me explain to you what my problems in life are. You think you have problems in life? Let me explain my problems. So June 11, 2054 is a very important date. What is the significance of this date? This is the day I am leaving planet Earth. Okay, so what I need to happen by June 10th, 2054, one day before departure, is that my total assets should be less than rupees 10,000. By June 10th, 2054, plan ye hai कि 10,000 रुपए remaining होने चाहिए. Everything else needs to be gone, right? It needs to be gone back to society in some way. Now, the problem I have, let me explain my problem, okay? So today, if I look at my situation, I have, let's say, 500 crores of assets that I own, okay? Now, I'm an investor and I am compounding this money. And I also manage about, let's say, 6,000 crores for other people. Other people have given me about 6,000 crores to manage. Now, this 6,000 crores, this is the year 2023. Departure date is 2054, right? So we have about approximately 30 years, right? That I can manage this money for 30 years. Let's say, for example, that 6,000 crores is growing at, I'll take a low number. Let's say it's growing at 10% a year, okay? The annual increase is 10%, okay? The deal I have with my investors is that the first 6% that comes every year goes to them. Now, we have 10%, we give them the 6%. The remaining 4% that's left, 1/4 is mine, 3/4 is theirs. Okay? So if I make them 10%, I keep 1%. Mera cut. Bolna mat unko bhai sirf golf khel raha hu. They don't need to know that. So 10% a year means that, like 1% is coming to me, right? So about 60 crores per year is coming to me, right? Now, let's say, so we have the 500 crores. Now, let's say this is growing at also 10%, right? So either say 50 crores aa gaya and udhar se 60 crores aa gaya. So 110 crores has come to me from the two sources, okay? That is approximately, let's say 20%, right? If I just calculate it for my own 100 crores is coming out of 500 crore, basically my wealth is increasing at 20% a year, right? So there is something in math which is not in the JE curriculum. It's called the rule of 72. Who is familiar with the rule of 72? You guys are lucky. I have come here to teach you about the rule of 72. You will know, the only IITians who will know what rule of 72 is. So the rule of 72 is what we would call a mathematical hack. So if I am making 20% a year, how much time does it take for the money to double? Pardon? None. Already fail ho gaya. Compound ho raha hai bhaiya. 100 hai pehle saal mein. 120 ho gaya dusre saal mein. तीसरे साल में 140 थोड़ी होएगा, it's 144. चौथे साल में थोड़ी होएगा 160, वो भी increase होएगा. तो compounding चल रही है boss. It's not going to take 5 years. So the rule of 72 is a hack where you just do 72 divided by 20, okay? If you do 72 divided by 20, you get approximately 3.5. You just do approximation, don't need to do exact number, okay? What the rule of 72 is telling me is that in 3.5 years, the money doubles, not 5 years, because of the compounding. If I am compounding at 10% a year, how long will it take money to double? Raise your hand. Somebody, yeah, go ahead. How long will it take? But we will do round numbers, 7 years, okay? If I am compounding at 7% a year, how long will it take? So, आपको फंडा शुरू हो गया ना rule of 72 का. It's an approximation, not exact, but it just happens to be that number 72 works like that. So it makes it very quick to do the calculation because you don't need to think about it. So the important thing in life is how many doubles you can get. So I am getting a double every 3.5 years. I have 30 years left, okay? How many doubles did I got to get in 30 years? Pardon? Raise your hand if you want to answer. So 10.5 years, 3 doubles. 21 years, 6 doubles. And maybe it is 8 to 9 doubles. Let's say 8 double ho gaye, right? What is 2 to the power of 8? 256. And what is 256 times 500 crores? Let's say, so ye 50,000 crore ho gaya, फिर 1 lakh crore हो गया, 1.25 lakh, right? 125 lakh crores. Is that correct? Right? 125 lakh crores. We're going to take this to 10,000. Remember what I told you? I have to go down to 10,000. This is the number we need to be left with. And हमने already calculate किया है कि अगर हम 2,500 scholar ले रहे हैं साल के, right? That is the maximum for IIT. After 2,500 scholars, we cannot take more than 1,600 seats. Let's say we take another 2,000 or 3,000 scholars for medical and other things. 5,000 scholars a year. Abhi 25 crores is being spent right now for 1,000 scholars. 5,000 scholars, 125 crores. You are soon going to understand my problem. So basically, we have, at some point, Dakshana may be spending 125 crores per year. But the problem we have is other people want to give us money. जैसे DMart के दमानी जी हैं, Bajaj Finance के लोग हैं, जैसे Microsoft India है. A lot of people like that want to give us money. So I'm trying to tell them, let me only use my money because I need to finish my money. They are saying, नहीं आप मेरा भी पैसा नहीं लीजिए please. तो अभी उनका पैसा आ रहा है तो और complicated हो जाती है situation. But this is the reality of my life. Okay, so if we are spending 125 crores and we spend this for 30 years, okay, so how much have we spent? So 3,750 crores. इधर तो 125 lakh crores है, तो बाकी कहाँ खर्चा करेंगे? Because we'll be left with 10,000. So you asked the second question, why did we pick IIT, right? Why are we doing only JE coaching, etc.? Well, we picked JE coaching because it has a very high return to society. So if you take the example of Ashok going to Hungary and now so wealthy, if Ashok had done a BCom, we helped him do BCom or something, what will be his salary? Will he have a job? He may not even have a job, right? So we wanted to do things where the job is guaranteed. Where is a job guaranteed? IIT से निकलोगे job को कहीं ना कहीं तो मिल जाएगी. डॉक्टर बनोगे कुछ ना कुछ तो हो जाएगा, right? NIT से निकलोगे कुछ होएगा. So that's what we focused on. Now, what we need to do after this, I have no idea. I have a few years to figure it out. Because right now we are at 25. We are not at 125. But I know we will hit 125 soon. And already what is happening is जो 25 crores है, उसमें से currently about 16 to 18 crores is coming from other people. So I am only able to put 7-8 crores. Problem हो गई है. You know what I'm saying? The engine is not working properly. So these are my problems. I just wanted to let you know what my problems in life are. Okay. Next question.
Hi Mohnish. My name is Tanmay from JNV Bangalore Rural. My question is, what were the challenges and difficulties you faced while establishing Dakshana program in India?
I actually did not want to start Dakshana. As you already know, I'm a very lazy person. Does it look to you that I work hard? I don't work hard. I'm a lazy person. Okay. And Dakshana is like Chucky Piso. You know, I'm not good at Chucky Piso. Just want to relax. So you heard of Anand Kumar, Super 30? You have not heard of Ashok Kumar, but you've heard of Anand Kumar. That's okay. So I heard of Super 30 program in 2006. And I thought this is very first class program. Very good guy doing good work. So I contacted Anand, sent him a mail at super30.org. I sent a mail to him. And I told him, listen, Anand, you are doing great work. You're taking 30 kids every year. Almost all of them are going to IIT. Let's increase that number to 300. I can fund you. And I will not ask any questions. You just do whatever you want with the money. So he said that we don't take outside donations. We don't want to increase the size of the program. And he sent this mail to me. After a few weeks, I sent him the same message again. He sent me the same response. So I said, आप मुझे cut and paste करके same response सब लोगों को भेज रहे हो, वही response मेरे को भेज रहे हो. थोड़ा 2-4 sentence खुद का लिख लेते, थोड़ा personalize कर देते. So I said, okay, let's go to Patna. Let's meet the guy and let's have a face-to-face conversation with him so that he can take my money. So I went to Patna in 2007. I met him, met the Super 30 batch. Again, I told him, please increase the size of the program. All I will do is write a check. You'll never hear from me. You do everything, whatever you want. He said, I don't want to increase the size, like I already told you. So then I told him, can we copy your program? He said, this is a very good idea. You can copy it. So I said, okay, he has a good program. We can copy the program. But the problem we had when I'm trying to copy it is that when Anand Kumar announces that he's going to have a selection test, 10,000 kids show up to take the test, right? Because he's well known. And from 10,000, he picks 30. Of course, those 30 will go to IIT. You're picking 30 out of 10,000, right? If 2007, Mohnish announces some test, nobody will come. Will anybody come? Nobody will come. So I said, how can we copy his program when we don't have his brand? We don't have people who know us. So I was thinking, okay, how to solve this problem? So I also, at the time, was living in California. I was not planning to move to India. The golf is better in US, better golf courses. So I said, I'm not going to be in India. Anand is not helping me. So what am I supposed to do? So I sent a message to my friends who are in US, who were IIT grads. And I said to them that, look, I need some guy in India who can be like a consultant for me, who can help me kind of figure this thing out, right? So one of my friends, he was a graduate of IIT Madras. He said, I'll put this on some message board for IIT Madras alumni that you are looking for such and such kind of person. I said, yeah, please post it. So he posted it. And I got a guy who was a IIT Madras grad. He was much older. He was about 60 years old. And he was retired. And he said, I am idle. I am free. I can do anything you want me to do. I said, good. So I told him, listen, you are a consultant. Every hour you work for Dakshana, I just formed Dakshana, we'll give you 500 rupees. 500 rupees per hour. Okay? Every day you work for Dakshana, we'll give you 5,000 rupees. I gave him a credit card. I said, any travel, you have to go anywhere, just use our credit card. Right? So all your expenses are covered. And he said, that's fine. So I told him, first thing I told him is go to Kota. Go meet all the coaching institutes and tell them that if you get any students who have passed your test, but who don't have money, just send them to us. Because someone may have taken some Bansal or Fitchi or some test and they don't have money or whatever. So he went to Kota, met all these coaching institutes. And then on the coaching institute, their perspective was, koi foreigner hai, some stupid foreigner is there with a lot of money, doesn't know what to do. wants to give some free coaching to some people. Let us take advantage of him. This is what the coaching institute thought. कोई हमारे fees भर देगा कोई student का. So they said, okay, when we find some student who cannot afford, we will let you know. That afternoon, he gets a call from Bansal that some family is here, they are crying, they have passed our test, but they cannot pay the fee. So I told Ramesh, we don't need to do any detailed due diligence. Just go meet the family, see if it looks genuine, if you just meet them. If it looks genuine, tell them everything is paid. Now, what these coaching people do is, when you pass their test, only 2% is going to make it to IIT, 2 or 3%. Passing the coaching institute test doesn't mean you'll get to IIT. Passing Dakshana test means you have a good chance. We have no incentive to take people who are not going to make it. The coaching institutes have a lot of incentive to take everybody and just fool them, right? Because they're getting money. So if they take 10,000 kids for coaching and 200 go to IIT, they will just say, "Dekho, hamare itne achhe rank aa gaye hain." The 9,800 nobody talks about, right? So they gave us kids who were part of that 9,800, who don't have much chance to go to IIT. But the way I look at it is, in business, all you have to do is become better tomorrow than you were today. So I said, take the kids, whatever they are. We have no idea. We don't know how good they are. We don't know how smart they are. We don't know many things about them. So we took about 6 kids like that in Kota. Just different coaching institutes gave us six kids. Then they forgot about us. So after that, when people were coming to them, they never even contacted us. So we took these 6 kids. We paid for all their room, board, coaching, everything. None of them went to IIT. But they got some decent, they got some like NIT, something this, that. They did okay. But no, they didn't get top end, right? But while Ramesh was going through and meeting all those coaching institutes, someone in one of the coaching institutes said, you should go talk to Navodaya. So he never heard of Navodaya before. He doesn't know what Navodaya is. People in cities don't know what Navodaya is. So he ignored it. Then another meeting after 3 days, someone again said, you should go talk to Navodaya. So he said, Navodaya bol rahe hain, kya hai Navodaya? So he looked up Navodaya, found that there's a government body in Delhi which has all these schools. So he contacted them, made an appointment, went to Delhi to meet the Navodaya people. Now at that time in 2007, the commissioner of Navodaya and the head of academics at Navodaya, joint commissioner of academics, they were really good and they knew they had a problem. The problem they had is they knew that the Navodaya kids are really smart, but after they finish 12th, there's nothing for them, right? If you are in some, Meghalaya or, Tripura or something, Northeast somewhere, you are not going to get coaching. There's no coaching available even in the area. Even if you had the money, you would not get it. So they had a problem. But Dakshana is brand new. It has no history. We don't know how to do coaching. We don't know anything. But they said there's some entity called Dakshana is willing to fund this program. What do we lose, right? Try kar lete hain. Inke saath they look sincere. So we did a deal with the Navodaya MOU where we said that 8 centers around the country will take 40 kids a year for each of the regions. We're doing a selection test, and then we'll have our faculty just like the program is running here. And Navodaya will move all the kids just like it happened in Kottayam. We didn't have any faculty at that time. So we outsourced the faculty just like we outsourced to Brilliant here. But at that time, the faculty we got from the coaching institute, they gave us the worst faculty. And I think first year we ran the program, hardly 10-12% of the kids went to IIT. But I felt like it's a baseline. I said next year, we just want to be more than 10%. If we make it to 15 or 20%, then year after that, we want to be better than that. So I just wanted to get the baseline. And then just like any business, we see what the problem is. If faculty is bad, we can that coaching institute, right? If some coaching institute is taking our money and not providing good faculty, there's a saying in business, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. एक बार तो मेरे को उल्लू बना लोगे, दूसरी बार थोड़ी उल्लू बनाओगे, right? So पहली बार तो तुम ले लोगे मेरा पैसा और useless faculty भेज दोगे, हमको useless result आ जाएगा, हम फिर से थोड़ी आपको पैसा देंगे. We'll fire you, get somebody else. And that's what we did. So even here, like for example, if Brilliant did not deliver results to us, they would be gone, right? We would not tolerate people who are not performing well. So these were some of the initial problems. But we just worked on every year trying to improve it, and it worked. It worked pretty well. And maybe we'll take one more question. Is that good? Let's take one more question.
Hi Mohnish, I am Ujjwal Erwar from JNV Kottayam, Madhya Pradesh. As Dakshana Foundation provides us a lot, even more than we expect from anywhere. As you said, 25 crores a year, and it's gonna be 125 crores. Sir, my question is, how can we repay Dakshana? Or what do you expect from us?
ओके वेरी गुड क्वेश्चन. अभी देखो ऐसा सिचुएशन है कि हमारे पास बहुत ज़्यादा पैसा है. अगर आप भी पैसा देना शुरू कर दोगे तो मैं 10,000 पे कैसे पहुंच जाऊंगा. बट वॉट यू कैन डू वन इज you can join Dakshana. We need faculty. We want faculty who are alums. So those of you who are interested in teaching, after you finish IIT or NIT, you can look into coming and joining us as a faculty member. Or you can even join our management team like Anu has done. Anu used to be a scholar like you. Now he is the big boss, you know. So, but I think that what you can do is, we don't know what Dakshana's needs will be if we find some other program or whatever else. We have to figure that out. But I think what you can do is that you can figure out something that appeals to you and works for you. So you cannot change the world, but you can change the world for one person, and you can change the world for 10 people. So there may be some school in your village which does not have good desks or good furniture or good teachers or good building. You can provide the desk, right? You can paint the classroom. You can coach those kids. You can give tutoring yourself in your holidays. So there are many ways you can help. You can also see how you can help Dakshana, and that will be fine. But, you know, I did not start this program with the intent that the alumni will be the ones supporting us. I did not start it with that. I knew that there will be alumni who will contribute. A lot of our alumni gives us money. You know, I think like Ashok sends us a few $1,000s a year. And we get quite a bit from alum efforts giving us money. But a lot of our faculty now is alumni. Some of our management team is alumni. That's really good for us. So I think that it would make me very happy if you guys found your own way to improve the world in whatever way it makes sense to you. It could be environment, could be healthcare, could be a number of different. It could be just taking care of your extended family, you know. So just different ways you can help. So it was wonderful spending time with you. Thank you very much, and I wish you all the best.
I am Anand from JNV Banda UP. So as being a social animal, one has to contact and mingle with all the good and bad people in the society. So my question is that what is to be done for not being influenced and affected negatively by bad people?
That's a great question. So there is a gravitational pull. If we are mixing with people who are worse than us, we will become worse. And if we are mixing with people who are better than us, we're going to become better. So obviously, if you want to have a lot of success in life, you want to be very picky about who you consider your friends. And you need to be kind of what I would call a harsh grader. So one time when I was talking to Warren Buffett, have you guys heard of Warren Buffett? Okay, good. So I told him, Mr. Buffett, how come you are such a good judge of humans? You seem to be able to interact with some humans and you were able to figure out in very short time that someone is really good or not so good or bad or whatever. Were you always able to do that? I asked him this question. So he said, Mohnish, you are mistaken. I am not good at being able to quickly tell if a person is good or bad. I'm not able to do that. He said, if I'm in a party, you know, some dinner party, and there are 100 guests at the party, and you gave me 5 minutes to meet each of the 100 people. He said, what I would be able to tell you is that maybe 3 or 4 people are really good. In the 5 minutes, I could probably tell there are some people who are really good. I can probably tell also in 5 minutes that maybe 3 or 4 people are not so good. So out of 100 people, maybe 8 people, I can figure out, he said, whether they are good or bad. But the other 92, after spending 5 minutes, I have no idea. So he said, what I do is I treat the 92 the same as the bad people. So we have 4 that are good, 4 that are bad, 92 is unknown. We apply a mathematical formula. Unknown is equal to bad, okay? So he says that the 4 people who I know are good, I invite them into my inner circle, and the other 96 get excluded. Now, he also said, this is very unfair, because many of those 92 people who have been excluded could be really good, but it's really mathematical. On planet Earth, we have an infinite number of people. 8 billion humans approaches infinity. So you can approximate 8 billion with infinity. How many humans on planet Earth? Infinity. From that, if I were to ask the second question, how many people on planet Earth are good people? Infinity. Abhi pehla jawab infinity hai, the second will be infinity. Right? A portion of infinity is infinity, part of your JEE curriculum. Right? So there are infinite number of good people. So therefore, we don't need to be fair in this world. We don't need to be concerned about the 92 who have been unfairly thrown away. Because our objective is to do the best we can. There is a very big penalty for including a bad person in the circle. Big penalty. There is no penalty for excluding a good person because we have infinite number of good people. So here's where things become difficult. You have some friends. Let's say you have 5 really close friends. Okay? If you were to think about ranking them, who is better than you and who is worse than you? You know these 5 people really well. You know their traits. So the traits that we have as humans at the age of 6 will not change till the age of 96. Between our genetics and what happens in the first 6 years of life, the way a person is set, not going to change. So I'll give you an example. I finished high school in 1982, CBSE. Don't ask me my percentage. Okay? But I finished in 82, right? At that time, there was no internet. There was no Facebook. I lost touch with all my classmates. Okay? Then about 20 years later, 25 years later, everyone showed up on Facebook. So I was interacting with these people after a 25-year gap. कोई change नहीं आया. अगर कोई लल्लू था वो अभी तक लल्लू है. अगर कोई smart था वो अभी भी smart है. अगर कोई चोर था वो अभी भी चोर है. There was no change because from 6 to 96 there's not going to be a change. So when you have your 5 friends and you look at their traits and you see some trait that bothers you, you need to understand you cannot change the trait. The trait is frozen. What you have to do, you have to drop the person. Do you have the guts to drop the bad people from your life? Then it's not going to work. You need to have the guts. So the question is, are the friends more important or your life journey being optimized more important? For me, life journey is more important. Infinite to अच्छे लोग हैं, मिल जाएंगे friends. So when Mr. Buffett told me this, I used this filter. So about 2 years ago, I moved to Austin, Texas. It's a state in the US, Texas. I used to be in California, another state. When I moved to Austin 2 years ago, I didn't know many people there. You know, it's a new city. A lot of people will contact me and say they want to meet and this and that. What I decided is, 2 baar mahine mein, if the person in the message looks interesting, I invite them for tea twice a month, random person. It's not random because I'm trying to do some filtering based on what they are saying. Okay? I meet them once and I have a discussion with them. When they leave, I ask myself the question, is this a great person? Is this a bad person? Or I don't know. If the answer is bad or I don't know, which is most of the time the case, I will never see that person again. Done. Harsh grading, because we want the journey to be great, right? Now what happened in the last 2 years is, I met about 25 people like this. I make really good Assam tea. I make exceptional tea. So I would invite them for tea. I make tea for them. We have a discussion for an hour, hour and a half. Then I go back and think about what happened. And then I decide what's going on. And what happened is, out of the 25, one guy was awesome. One guy. And he got put into the inner circle. Now we are very good friends because every few weeks we meet for tea or whatever and we are having a good time. And the more I've gotten to know him, it has reinforced that what my initial thinking was about this person was very good. Many of those people, probably 90-95% of them, I could not tell whether they're good or not. Some I could tell I don't want to deal with. But most of them I could not tell. I never saw them again because we are doing harsh grade. We are following the algorithm. Infinite people, therefore infinite good people. And now if I look at the people who are my close friends and I look at kind of the traits they have, I really like it a lot. They're really exceptional people on a number of different fronts. Very good people. And so this has worked well. Now, one thing you can do it here and you could also do it in IIT, is all your classmates here, you will get to know them well. So it's not like a lot of them will be, I don't know. It'll be good or bad, and the I don't know number will be small because you're spending so much time together. So, jo I don't know hai, unko to nikal do. No need to spend time. Jo you are questioning different things about them, unko bhi nikal do. That's hard. Like you said, you want to be with your friends. I don't want to be with my friends. I want to be with good friends. Okay? And so it's a choice you have to make. If you choose to be with exceptional people, your life journey will be different. If you marry an exceptional person, the life journey will be also exceptional. So these choices are not easy choices. And you have to be deliberate. In many ways, it's difficult to make these choices. So next question.
I am Devanand Virnapu from JNV Guntur, Andhra Pradesh.
It is a trend of trolls in social media. People used to criticize or find negatives in the persons who are doing something good to the society. My question is whether you got any such kind of trolls from any sources. If yes, how did you handle it? If no, how will you react to it?
Okay, that's a very good question. So, sometimes I would meet some people and they would criticize Mahatma Gandhi. They would bring up a lot of things about Gandhi, which they said were negative things about him. वो cunning आदमी था, वो ऐसा कर रहा था, अपने लिए कर रहा था, ये कर रहा था. Some things they were bringing up. From my point of view, Gandhi was a good human being. Okay, he may have some flaws. Okay, but when I look at the whole package, the good versus bad, in my mind, for someone like Gandhi is a good guy, great guy. Okay, what I did is I excluded that person, put him in the timeout box. I'm never going to see that person again because it gave me a data point. Right? I don't need too many data points. अगर कोई ऐसे सोच रहा है, तो there's no point spending time with such people. Like the exclusion filter came in. The guy is probably wondering क्या हो गया. He might be wondering for a long time क्या हो गया till he sees this video. Then he will understand exactly what happened. Okay, so the way I look at it is that कि अगर कोई गांधी को criticize कर, तो मैं क्या चीज़ हूँ, right? If I look at any person, living or dead, no matter how good they are, there are a lot of critics. There are a lot of people who have a lot of negative things to say about a lot of public figures, okay? There are also a lot of people who have a lot of positive things to say about public figures. So the way I look at it is that I have to make up my own mind. I cannot decide about a public figure based on what somebody is telling me. I need to make up my own mind. And sometimes when I see extreme behavior like that guy is criticizing Gandhi, I just say, okay, we can take this person out. We don't need to deal with this person. And so I think on social media, if you go look, there will be probably a lot of negative things written about me. I have seen a lot of negative things written about me. And my take is maybe some of those things are valid. So the way I look at it is that if someone is being critical about me, I want to listen to it and understand if there's a way where if what the person is saying has some merit and whether I can do something to improve myself. If I can learn from that and improve myself, I will try and do that. But if I'm not able to get any kind of positive thing out of that, I just ignore it. And the same thing on the other side. If the other side happens more, people praise me a lot. And many times the praise is too much. I'm not worthy of that praise. So in both cases, what Warren Buffett says is that you should use an inner scorecard, not an outer scorecard. So when I decide, what kind of person I am, I can make a good decision on that based on everything I know about myself. I know the positives, I know negatives, I can make some decision on that. I don't need to think I'm a really great person just because the world is saying I'm great. And I don't need to think I'm a useless person just because the world is saying I'm useless. So you can take those inputs, but you have to do your own thing. Next question.
I'm Mohnish. I'm Devraj from JNV Karnataka. When you are at our age, 16 or 17, what were your thoughts and wishes? And what you did to fulfill those wishes? Thank you.
All right. When I was 16 or 17, I was in 11th standard in a CBSE system, just like you. And at that time, actually, I was in Dubai. I finished 11th and 12th in Dubai, but we still went through CBSE. And I actually didn't really have a good idea of what to do. Basically, I was a above average student. My 11th and 12th was in commerce. It was not in science. And I was thinking that at some point, I may want to start a business or something. So that's why I took commerce. And but I didn't have much idea. After I finished 12th, I joined a BCom course at Delhi University, Shri Ram College of Commerce. And that year in 82, there were strikes, so the university shut down for a long time. So my father asked us to come back to Dubai, and we applied to go to the US, to study in the US. He wanted us to go to the US. And when I was going to go to the US, people were saying that computers are hot. You should study computers. I never used a computer before. But what I did is when I applied for the degree, I applied in computer science. In the US, you could go from commerce to computer science, no problem. And when I started my degree, I found that if I switched to computer engineering, there's more math in computer engineering. And I like math. So I said, okay, I'm going to switch to computer engineering. So I just did those things based on just some general interest in math. But I didn't really have much of an idea at that time of what I want to do. I understood after a couple of years of doing engineering that I can probably get a good job and I can probably have a lot of financial stability. And so I said, okay, this looks good to me. I can become an engineer. I can work at some company. I can get some good raises and keep going from there. But all of that was starting to become clear to me when I was like maybe 20 years old or something. So 16, 17, I didn't have that much of an idea. It was just, I think the main thing I was interested in at that time is I liked a girl in our class. And it took me a year to get the courage to go up to her and say, I like you. And it really surprised me because she said, after I said that, I like you too. I said, this is amazing. Bullseye, And so once I was 17, my focus was on her and her focus was on me. And it was a good time. And actually the funny thing is that then we lost touch because we all went different places for college until Dubai. And then Facebook, we all got connected. So she is now happily married in Tasmania. Tasmania is a little island near Australia, part of Australia. So she lives there, has 3 daughters. And I connected with her in the last few years. And we had a good chat and all that. So anyway, it was a good experience in high school. So that was my focus at that time. Definitely from 17 to 18, I was focused on her. And from 16 to 17, I spent a year thinking, how am I going to tell her? That's how I was spending my time. So, next question.
Myself, Divakar Samrat from JNV Nagar, Uttar Pradesh. I am very interested in entrepreneurship. I want to establish my own startup in future. As a very successful entrepreneur, what are your valuable advice and suggestions? Thank you, sir.
Okay, very good. So, I've been an entrepreneur since I was 25. And the first 2 companies I tried to start didn't go anywhere. They failed. But I had a job at that time, so it was part-time and very little money was spent. So it didn't matter. So one of the things that I learned about being an entrepreneur is that if I have a job and I'm doing that job, the job is 40, 50 hours a week. There are 168 hours in the week. Even if you take out time for eating and sleeping and all of that, there's at least another 40, 50 hours that you can do something else, right? So what you can do when you have a job is you can spend that 40, 50 hours on whatever idea you have for a business. And you can even take some savings from your job to invest in that business. And once that business is starting to do well, you can leave your job and just do the business. What is more likely to happen is that whatever you come up with may fail. But that's okay. When we fail, we learn. So we learn from that failure and we start the second one. And we can fail again, no problem. Then you can start the third one. And you're also looking for other people who can be, 1 plus 1 can become 11 if you have some good team members. So my plan was to just keep trying things till something worked. And attempt number 3 worked. And that was fine. So I was running the business and doing my job at the same time. I was working about 80 hours a week. And once the business had a little bit of revenue, I was desperate to quit so that I could put 80 hours just in the business. And that's what I did, and it took off, and it went from there, and I didn't have to look back after that. So it worked well. So that's what I would suggest to you, is you have one leg in the job world and one leg in the business world, and just make sure that whatever you're doing in the business world doesn't compete with your employer. So the employer doesn't have any problem. कि तुम उसका secret ले रहे हो या कुछ ले रहे हो and all that. It's unrelated to what your employer is doing. Then the employer has no problem. So, next question.
Hi Mohnish, this is Siddharth Nayak from JNV Warangal, Telangana. Mohnish, most of the coaching institutions are collecting lakhs of amount in the name of JE on it. As the years are passing, the fee structure also is increasing. Mohnish, my question to you is, why do you have a different attitude of making it completely free?
Okay, that's very good. That's a great question. So basically, one time I was having a meeting with the head of academics at Navodaya in Delhi, and we were going to do some update to the MOU or something. So he says to me, we are very comfortable dealing with Dakshana because you are purely a philanthropist. You're purely doing charitable work. I told him, Alok, you are sadly mistaken. I am a hardcore capitalist. I am mainly interested in making money. I'm not a philanthropist. He's saying, but आपका जो money making है, वो coaching में तो नहीं है. I said, because the place I'm making money is way better than coaching is chucky piece. I found a way to make money that is much simpler. And so actually what I've always felt about Dakshana is that whenever we were interfacing with the Ministry of Human Resource Development or NVS, or we meet the principal here or whatever we would do, they always treated us very different from a coaching institute. When I used to go meet the Joint Secretary at Ministry of Human Resource Development, there'll be a lot of people waiting outside his office. He was an honest guy, IAS officer, honest guy. He was trying to do a good job for India, right? Whenever I went to see him, he would make all those people wait. Even if I came early, he would see me early because I'm not trying to sell him anything, right? And he would again say to me, it's so nice to meet you. You are not trying to get some order from me. You're not trying to do this and that, whatever else is going on. So Dakshana actually will never ever do paid coaching. We will not do that. In fact, we get messages from JNV parents. Some JNV parents now are very rich, right? And they are saying, like they say to me, look, my daughter did not get accepted in your NEET program in Dakshana Valley. We will make a big donation to Dakshana Valley. Just take my daughter. They said that we'll even pay more than what the coaching institute charges. We'll pay you 5 lakhs because we think that the quality and everything else and the environment is better than coaching institute. We tell them she didn't clear the test. You're welcome to make a donation, but there's no correlation between the donation and her getting admission. We never get the donation, and that's how we do run it. So basically, the bottom line is we're not really interested in. I have helped some friends of mine. So what happens is the coaching institutes, they'll accept anyone because they're getting paid. Whether you can make it to IIT or not, they'll take you, right? So like some friends of mine will say, my son has cleared the Allen exam. Allen has accepted them. I said, Allen accepting them means nothing. Doesn't mean he's going to IIT. I said, आप उनको हमारा test दो, JNV का हमारा जो selection test. Let us give him our test. I'll tell you whether he should waste his time on. So they come and take our test, and I tell them he cannot go to IIT. There's no chance. Time मत waste करो. He said, नहीं, but वो Allen में मिल गया admission. I said, वो 2 साल चक्की पीसेगा. He will think of killing himself because he's doing so poorly. वो A1, A2, A3, B section, C section, D section. I said, ये तो like, X section ना होएगा, Y section ना होएगा. Time मत waste करो. धंधे में लगा दो, कुछ और करने दो. Ask him what he wants to do. Does he want to be an engineer? He said, no, he doesn't want to be an engineer. I said, then let him do what he wants to do. Why are you forcing him? So anyway, so basically, Dakshana does not need to do coaching because we don't have any financial issue. Now, here's the thing that happens with Dakshana. We spend about 25 crores a year. Okay? We take about 1,000 kids every year. It's costing about 2.5 lakhs per kid. It's about 25 crores. I used to fund the whole thing myself. But now a lot of other people donate money to us. Probably 16 to 20 crores is coming from other donors. They just give us the money. We don't do any coaching for them. Now, if I start doing for-profit coaching, first I have to make that 16 to 20 crores with no cost. The 16, 20 crores coming with no cost and no strings attached. So which is a better model? The donors will not be interested in donating to Allen. Will they give donation to Allen or Fitji or Resonance? But they are happy to give to Dakshana. तो चलने दो, गाड़ी चल रही है. Model change करने की जरूरत नहीं. अच्छा model है. Next question.
Hi Mohnish, my name is Lakshmi Prasad. I'm from JNV Medak, Telangana. First of all, I'm very happy for getting this opportunity to ask a question. My question is, how and why did you select the JNV Kottayam as COE without considering the distance, difference in the language and culture, and many such things? Thank you, sir.
That's a very good question. The issue is that we don't get a choice. So the Navodaya Samiti tells us which locations can handle us, right? Now what we want, what Dakshana wants, we want locations which are very close to urban areas. We want locations in Bangalore, in Hyderabad, in Pune, Delhi, etc. Because we can get coaching faculty easily, right? Navodaya doesn't care about all that. They look at it from their point of view saying, okay, some remote corner of Northeast, 200 kilometers from any urban center, there is space there. You go do coaching over there. And we used to do that. We used to have coaching in weird places, but we could never find good faculty who wants to stay there. So when Kottayam was offered to us, the good news about this place is that the Kottayam city is close by. And Kottayam city has coaching facility. And also if we bring staff here, there is some life outside the campus. They can do some things. So we would like to be in more central areas. But Navodaya doesn't give us that choice. So if it was up to me, what we would want is we have a capacity for 360 scholars in Bangalore. We want to have a center like that at 6 or 8 locations in India, where each location has about 350 kids, 360 kids. Because then we can put 3 faculty members and use them very effectively, amortize the cost over a large number of students. And we had made those proposals to Navodaya. They were supposed to build these centers of excellence. Nothing happened. And then every few years, the leadership changes and the new people coming in, they don't understand what we are trying to do. And so we run into a bunch of issues related to that. But we would like to be in urban areas and we would like to have a large number of kids in one location. But we have not been able to do that. So what we did as a plan B is we bought our own campus. So we have a 100-acre campus in Pune, which is currently housing 1,000 kids. And we are trying to increase that capacity to 1,600. 1,600 in one location gives us a lot of economies of scale. You know, like the food preparation, hostels, coaching staff, administrative infrastructure. It becomes, when we amortize that over 1,600 kids, it's very efficient. And when we run a center like Kottayam, for example, it's very expensive for Dakshana. Our cost per student in Kottayam is much higher than the cost per student in Dakshana Valley. So that's just the way it is. Next question.
Good afternoon, Mohnish. My name is Ritesh from JNV Badwani, Madhya Pradesh. My question is, why did you select Brilliant Coaching Institute other than Dakshana faculty?
Okay, that's a great question. So we used to have Dakshana faculty here. And the issue we run into is that there are only 100 kids here. Right now, there are only 90 kids. And if we put faculty here, it doesn't matter if we have 1 kid or 300 kids. The cost of the faculty is the same. And so if you think about faculty, if the faculty cost, let's say, is 15, 20 lakhs per faculty member, for example, let's say 15 lakhs, so it's 50 lakhs a year. It would be 50,000 per student if there are 100 kids. And if we go to Brilliant and we tell them to run it, their faculty is doing other coaching as well. They are coming here for some time, but they're not coaching just 100 kids, right? They're coaching at Brilliant also. So what Brilliant would charge us and what they do charge us is less than what it would cost Dakshana if we did it ourselves. We used to do it ourselves. And so there are negatives that come up when we use third parties. But we have tried to kind of circumvent that with quality, where we do checks and we make sure that we take feedback from you guys, and if there are problems with faculty, we can address it with Brilliant and make some changes, etc. Are you happy with the faculty? How many of you are unhappy with the faculty? Raise your hand. How many of you are happy with the faculty? Raise your hand. How many of you have no opinion? Well, no opinion makes it hard for us to do something. But if you have feedback, you can give it to Anu. Anu is here. And we will try to take that into account. If you feel that there's some faculty member who could be better or doesn't know the subject as well or something like that, you should let us know so we can make some changes if there's a need to do that. So yeah, we used to have our own faculty. We have it outsourced at some of the smaller centers. The larger centers we run with our own team, and that works better. Next question.
Good afternoon, Mohnish. I am Yogendra Nirala from JNV Jangi Chapa, Chhattisgarh. We would like to know about your personal experience in all the 17 years of Dakshana Foundation. Moreover, are you fully satisfied with its result, or do you expect it to improve more? Thank you.
All right. The journey that Dakshana has had for the last 17 years has been vastly better than what I expected. I expected that we will fail because we were trying, I'm not in India and I'm trying to do something which I have no expertise in. I don't know how to do coaching. I don't know how to teach physics or any of those things. And I'm not here managing the team. So there are a lot of reasons why we should have failed. And what happened with Dakshana is we were lucky. There's some really good people who joined the team and who built the organization. And now we have a lot of alums who have joined us in faculty as well as in management. So over time, more and more alums will become part of the fabric, which I think will make Dakshana stronger. So everything that has happened with Dakshana has been much better than my expectations. And so I'm very, very happy about it. I also believe that anything that we do, we should be able to improve. So we look at our results every year. We look at what we are doing every year. We try to see what changes we can make that can improve the system and all of that. So we try to do all those things. And I think over time, it does get better. So definitely the experience you guys are having is much, much better than 15 years ago. I think that the quality of things that are being imparted to you is much better.